the Total Drama reboot is over, so you might think that you have nothing to watch. But I got you covered. Today, I'm gonna show you the best Total Drama fan-made seasons. Number 1. Osy Island. This series first started as a fan comic, and then the creator, Chester801, decided to animate it and upload it on YouTube in 2019. On Osy Island, we are introduced to 24 new contestants. Although some are original ideas, others are almost one-to-one copies of the original cast. The action takes place in an old abandoned boot camp. From the beginning of the episode, we're hit with an interesting plot twist. The host of the show, Carter McGuire, is a former member of Chris's band, Fametown. In this universe, Chris started to cause some problems for the show due to his way of making the challenges, so the producers decided to fire him and hire his former band colleague. There are a lot of interesting details that connect the series with the official seasons, yet Osy Island manages to stand on its own with a good storyline and interesting characters. Being an online series that mostly targets fans who grew up with Total Drama, some of the scenes overall tend to get, let's say, a little bit inappropriate for kids.
Whoa. Hey, you mind helping me out?
Sure.
Whoa.
Still, Osy Island maintains itself interesting without overusing some relationships or rivalries. Osy Island only aired one episode on YouTube before it was shut down. The main reason was due to copyright. As I said earlier, a lot of old Total Drama designs were used. Also, the original song was used, and even the way the contestants were shown in the intro looked a lot like Total Drama Island 2007. Despite that the series was taken down from YouTube, there is still a way to watch the first episode, since some fans managed to re-upload it back. Still, the creators announced on Twitter that the series will actually continue in comic form, with new designs for the characters. The most recent piece of content that we got on YouTube is Crystal's audition tape, which had some surprisingly good animation and voice acting.
But enough about our team. You want to know about me, I'm guessing. Alright, so if I had to say what my best quality is, I'd say I'm really sweet and that I'm really trustworthy.
Number 2. Total Drama Gone Wild. The first episode aired on YouTube on March 12, 2016, and was made by Bonkyle Productions. Although in the first 2 episodes, it was clear that Gone Wild was an imitation of the original Total Drama, Episode 3 shows a great evolution of the series by changing the host and the intro. So, slowly but steadily, the series started to stand on its own. One highlight of this series are the characters. Although some of them are inspired by their Total Drama characters, or just seem like combinations between 2 characters, their personalities and the dynamic between them are very interesting. The introduction of the new host, the supernatural element from the bonus clip, and the side storyline with the mysterious journal make the series feel original and not just a random Total Drama copy. However, the show has 2 main problems. First are the challenges, probably the lamest challenges I have ever seen. The second problem is the production. For example, Chris's voice. Like, bro, what the f is this?
Are on the island.
Who said, oh, you must get to the island? It was a team picking challenge.
I bet most of the viewers clicked off the video when they heard it. Despite using Total Drama's opening theme and adding Chris into the storyline, the show was never stopped by Fresh TV. The reason is pretty simple. The producer of the show, Bonkyle Productions, didn't have enough budget to hire a team, so it took necessarily more than a year to finish an episode. That pretty much made the series invisible for Fresh TV. Unfortunately, there are only 3 episodes and 2 bonus clips out there, since the production stopped. The reason is that in the country where the creator lives, people have to serve in the military for 2 to 3 years. However, Bonkyle Productions announced that the show would actually continue when the new crew would have enough time to work on it. Number 3. Island of the Slaughtered. This series started on TikTok on July 24th, 2023 on this channel. The creators are only 14 years old, which is crazy considering all the creepy details included. The original series is written as a description of some TikTok posts, but I also have a video about it, which I will link in the description. This is the darkest Total Drama fan-made series out there, so let's set the scene a bit. The story takes place in 2007, in an alternative universe. Here, Camp Owanakwa was placed in a secret location only known by Chris and his crew. Although the island is described as being very difficult to reach, a serial killer manages to get on it and end Ezekiel's life. Chris decided to take his crew and leave the island immediately, abandoning the contestants with the murderer. After what happened, he disappeared from his public life. Despite the contestants' family reclamation, Chris decided to keep the location of the island secret. But although he managed to get off easy from that situation, the contestants' fate was only going to get worse and worse, as they were hunted down one by one by the man from the woods. Island of the Slaughtered is very different from other Total Drama seasons, and it's perfect for those of you guys who like horror movies. It's also very interesting to read it, or watch it with your friends on special occasions like sleepovers or Halloween. On the other hand, if you don't like this kind of horror stuff, it might not be for you, since some of the scenes described tend to be kinda disturbing. Number 4. Disventure Camp. This is an interesting one, because although there are a lot of good fan-made projects out there, Disventure Camp is the first one that seems to become a real competition for Total Drama. The first episode premiered on YouTube on 1st April 2021 on the channel called Odd Nation Cartoons. At first, the show was called Adventure Camp and started as a clear imitation of Total Drama, which despite the small budget, managed to get fans' interest. But after the show's popularity continued to grow, Season 2 changed the series' name to Disventure Camp and took things to another level. The creators from Odd Nation Cartoons even deleted the initial first season and made a remake with better characters, storyline, and production. Some of the fans, including myself, started to even compare Disventure Camp with the new Total Drama Seasons, and what's crazy is that in some ways, Disventure Camp is better. Although the series is still connected to Total Drama, the creators added some huge changes that made Disventure Camp feel more original than any other fan-made series. Unlike Total Drama, the show puts an emphasis on survival, making the contestants gather their resources instead of just giving them food and shelter. The contestants have pretty interesting personalities, yet sometimes the interactions between them feel lame. In the show, there are also some interesting side stories, like the illegal activity from Season 1, or when Crystal, who is actually Chris's daughter, struggles with the effect that hosting the show has on her. Disventure Camp is actually still creating content and is becoming more popular as time goes by. Apparently, there's a lot of tension between Disventure Camp's fans and Terry McGurran. We can see that especially on Twitter. Terry is right. The producers from Odd Nation Cartoons did use some designs from Total Drama, but that doesn't mean that Disventure Camp should be stopped. They give us a lot of good content to watch, and if they keep up with the good work, that would motivate the producers from Fresh TV to make even better content too. Number 5. Odia Del Drama. This is probably the biggest fan-made series in terms of content, since it already has 3 seasons available on YouTube on the channel called Omega Show. If you can get over the poor quality of the animation and of the voice acting, especially from the first 2 seasons, Odia Del Drama is a pretty interesting series. The themes of all 3 seasons are good, and the characters are good. Definitely not the best from this list, but better than the ones from seasons like Osy Island. There are some little details and plot twists that really changed the dynamic of the elimination ceremonies. Like, in Season 2, besides the immunity idol, there were added 2 more tiki statues, one that allows one contestant to cancel another's vote, and one that allows a contestant to give immunity to another one. Also, they even brought a character from Disventure Camp as a guest, which is pretty crazy. Maybe they didn't make the best decision by bringing Gret, but hey, it's a start. Although the series uses Chris for 2 seasons, it wasn't taken down by Fresh TV, which is unusual considering how they usually deal with this kind of stuff. Number 6. Total Drama Reunion. Although it's not a season, this is probably the most popular fan-made project ever made. It was made by Blue Studios and appeared as a salvation in Total Drama's darkest era, only to be stopped by Fresh TV, which offered us Drama-Rama as a better alternative. Bringing back the OG cast and putting them in a showdown with the man who almost ended their lives several times was an original and mind-blowing idea. You can say whatever you want about the other fan-made projects, but none of them got us as hyped as Reunion. The creator of the show, Blue Studios, recently resumed his activity and started posting new content. even though technically he isn't allowed to do that. So I guess Blue Studios is taking one for the team. So there it is, guys. What is your favorite Total Drama fan-made series? Make sure to tell me in the comments. Take care and see you next time with a brand new video.